Hello, loved ones. This is Matt Stevens, and I hope that you're doing fantastic. I certainly am. And, simulation theory, divine matrix, Maya being the ancient Vedic scripture of the illusion, right? How all physicality, life is an illusion, right? Meaning our mind, we exist outside of this, and this reality, this 3D physical realm that we are in, is Maya or illusion. And it's a fascinating topic. And in fact, I don't think it's far off from the truth. Now, it may not necessarily be the truth of this particular realm, although I do believe if we peel the onion back, we peel back on all the layers and we get back to out of all of the layers of it, that's what we would end up with. I think that this is just layers deep into that. Anyway, so the whole thing about simulation theory or divine matrix or Maya, it sparks a lot of debate. It sparks a lot of very interesting talks. It sparks a lot of very interesting thought. And all the way from philosophical debate to then we've got people who also get very triggered by that. And people get triggered by that talk because I'm guessing mostly just based on the things that I've put together, it causes them to maybe get a little bit in danger of being nihilistic. Meaning it's like if someone is faced with the prospect of, okay, if this were a simulation and basically I am code, then that means I don't really exist. And that if this is just coding in a computer and that's all I am, then screw it. Then, that they get the attitude of, well, just screw it. What's the point in giving a damn about anything if that's all this is? But to that, I've got to answer like, look, if this is some kind of simulation, which it is some kind, yes, but if it were a computer simulation, is your physical avatar code? Yes. And everything about physicality in this realm would be code. Yes. However, just like in a VR video game, virtual reality video game, and I realized that it's like, yeah, but if I play, and most people's argument to that right off the top is, yeah, but when I play a virtual reality game, I know I'm playing a virtual reality game. Even if it looks perfectly real, I'm still aware of the fact that it is a virtual reality game. And I'm like, that's true. That's very true. However, this is different. This would be much more advanced than that. And a good way to put it in perspective is we probably aren't that far away from that anyway, already. If you think of how far that technology has come just in 10 years, how far will it be 10 years from now? It's not that far away. Just in the past 10 years, you look at how far it's come. If you just multiply it by that for the next 10 years, it could very easily be so immersive, and you could even somehow apply the veil so that you don't even realize you're in a game anymore. It's just an adventure. And that's how we should look at this. Because for one, this avatar, if this is computer simulation, yes, it is code. And your brain, again, code, because that's part of the physicality. It's part of the physical illusion, the Maya. But I guess I can't prove it to you. This is just one of those things you just know. I know from personal experience. And you should. And if you don't, there are ways you can explore it. But you do have a higher self, which is your true self, which would be the version of you that is on the outside, is jacked into this avatar in this game through the character that you're playing. Like in my case, I'm playing the character of Matt Stevens. And my higher self is jacked into here through my brain. And there is a veil, there's a filter so that my brain can't figure that out too easily, because that would kind of just ruin the whole point of all of this. You see, this is a excuse me, this is a construct built for exploration, built for learning and growing. And that's what I believe we are in here to do. Now, have we lost our way? That's something we can definitely talk about. Have we lost why we're here? Have we come in here to learn and grow and gain some enlightenment? Maybe at a time dilated rate, maybe at a rate where we can live entire lifetimes in a matter of days or even less than that, maybe. All of that we can definitely get into. And has humanity, the human collective as a whole, lost its way? Yes, it would appear as that's the case. I can't say that for sure. How could I? But all of these topics, with regards to Maya and simulation theory and all that, it's very interesting. It does spark some very interesting talks. It does pose some very interesting philosophical debate and just thought. But it's like, if I were to, and the real thing I want to ask you is, what does it really matter? I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but I'm saying, why does it matter to you? If you were to find that this is just a simulation, and I hate to use the word just, but if you were to find that this is a simulation, would it cause you to be nihilistic? I mean, it really shouldn't. Here's why. Because while your behaviors, your start with your avatar and the things that go along with that, yeah, that's code. Your learned behaviors, learned beliefs, habits, just patterns of life, and then there's things that happen in your life, such as cultural issues, things like that, things that come along that make you you. Like for people who live in a certain part of the world, they live under very different cultural backgrounds and beliefs and things, as opposed to somebody who lives on another side of the world. That's true, and that's all part of the programming. That's part of the code. But your true self, that's the thing that most people don't zero in on. You do have a higher self that is jacked into here and is experiencing physicality through the character of Matt Stevens. Is this character real, or is this just code? I mean, partly it is code. However, I do know that your higher self does shine through. It's the one who is connected to it. There's no way it can't come through. But this you in the construct is not the same you that's out of the construct. I'm not saying that the person outside of here is a whole other person and they're simply playing a character in the construct. That may be a little accurate, but I can't believe that the two are completely different. I do believe that they are very similar in a lot of ways, probably different in a lot of ways too, though. That would be a good indicator. A good indicator of that would be, why would you want to come in here and be the exact same person you are on the outside? You need to come in here, have the veil so that you don't understand what's going on. You do have discovery. You do learn. You do grow, mature, all of those things while we're here. That would be a good reason for being here. That would be a good reason for voluntarily being here. And I do believe that we are here voluntarily. Now, what I always recommend, or I guess encourage people to do, is to learn to listen to your higher self. It's not like you can just give them a call, no, but there's always ways to connect through meditation. Yes, you can go into meditation. And I mean, I know that people might think this sounds whatever. Put out the call to your higher self. Broadcast into the field that you would love to receive communication from your higher self. let that be known. Put that out into the field. Also, watch for synchronicity. Synchronicities are not accidents. I mean, I'm not saying that coincidences never happen, although I kind of do. I'm one of those people that says I don't believe in coincidence. Although there are times when it's just, if you pick red and I picked red, that's not necessarily a synchronicity. That's just we both picked red. But there are synchronicities. And when you think that it might be a synchronicity, if something happens and you're like, "Whoa, that's kind of that seems like a synchronicity," probably is. And you need to stop and think, what is this trying to tell me? What could my higher self or my higher power be trying to express to me? Am I in the right place at the right time? That's usually what a synchronicity means. A synchronicity usually means you're on the right track, or you're where you're supposed to be right now, or whatever the case may be. That's why you need to learn to tune in, go through it into meditation. Be like, hey, and you can even ask, what was that? When I had that synchronicity last Tuesday, what was that? And then be quiet and listen. That thought that comes to mind that doesn't seem like it was your thought, that wasn't. That was your answer. In a lot of cases, that kind of thing happens. But most people just chalk it off as, my brain's playing tricks on me. No, not necessarily. You'll know the difference. I know that sounds a little vague to some people. It's like, well, or you'll know the difference, but you will. You will know. And also the biggest one, of course, is intuition. When you listen to your intuition, when your gut tells you something, that's your higher self speaking to you. That's your higher self saying to you what it needs you to know. So anyway, what's my point? My point is to just have fun. Learn and grow, of course. Whatever it is that you have come here to do. Learn, grow, gain some insight, wisdom, enlightenment, maturity, all those things. And just have fun with it. Because, as they say, you're not getting out here alive anyway. So anyway, loved ones. Yeah, and please, if you don't mind, please give this video a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. Also, subscribe to the channel if you have not yet done so. Besides that, that's what I got. I do love you, and I'll be back directly.